Hello and welcome. This is the first video in which we are going to dive into the platform for the Essential Path project management application. So let's get started. First things first. In the application building flow, I did just say, first make sure you have an idea, then start off with the environment. I kind of want to start off with the environment just so that we know we have your application ready to get started and start building before we start sketching some stuff on paper. So first things first, make sure to get started with the Essential Path that you have a Bettyblocks account and or that you have access to someone with an organization. Someone with an organization can create you an application that allows you to build the Essential app. So what we're going to do with the Essential app is, well, when you open up the Bettyblocks dashboard, you log into Bettyblocks for the first time, you see some templates, some resources. Feel free to use these resources while you're learning. And the only thing that we need to do is have an application ready that starts from scratch. We can press use. We can pick the organization in which we want this to be in. If you are the owner of an organization, and otherwise, again, ask someone else to get you this application ready. So let me create an application in Odinblocks, and I'm going to give this a name. This is going to be Odin's Project Management. That's what I'm going to call it. So the application name is going to be Odin's Project Management. The identifier is going to be the same. If you feel like you want them to be different, I can, for example, say I want the application name to have a white space in between, but the identifier to have a dash or anything in between. You can change them and then press create application. And from here, we wait until it's generated. So give it a second. The application is being created in the meantime. And once that is done, I'm going to introduce you in, well, the basics of the platform, the builder bar, what you get when a start from scratch application is created. And then we'll dive into it a little further. All right, so once my application has been created, I can click on the tile, and here you can see the application overview. This allows you to see your production application, your main application, and if you know what sandboxes and development streets work or look like, then, well, that happens all beneath this, but we don't need to worry about that right now. We're just gonna dive into our application. So we can press the application square, open application, and here you go. You open up your app. It might ask you to, well, log in again, because it does require a Bettyblocks login, and that all works with cookies and stuff because we work on a browser. But anyway, here we are. This is our application dashboard. Here you can also see certain tiles that allow you to go to the learning paths, which you are likely seeing right now. The documentation, product changes, and our community to ask some questions in case you want some help building some awesome features. On the left-hand side, we see one of the most important things that we have as developers. We have our builder bar. This allows us to navigate to our dashboard, to our pages segment. And if you've seen the application layer videos, then you know that pages, data model, and actions are the three layers that we need to build an application that can neatly work together with each segments. So pages for our front end, data model for our data structure, and actions for our business logic. Then we also have a segment for the block store, which allows us to share features and allows your colleagues to share awesome creations that they have made, either in low code or with putting things together in the platform, and they can share that in the block store and you can install that in your application. And then we have a tools segment with all kinds of neat features to use for application building. We're gonna pass most of the things within the Essential Path, but from here, let's look at what we have when we get started. Within pages, we already have some admin pages. This allows you as a user to basically manage your users, manage your own user account. We have some error pages. Within the data model, you already have a role and a user model. This is basically to give you as a developer a user a user, and an accompanying role. And then there are some actions. These actions are used for the admin pages. So let's click on one of the admin pages, open it up. And here you can see, well, it's an overview. We'll dive into that later. But this is the stuff that you get when you create an application from scratch. This is our basic empty Bettyblocks building environment. And what we are going to do within the essentials is fill it up to become an awesome project management application. So this is the intro course. Dive into the design course to see and figure out how we are going to design some of our pages.